Hey guys, welcome back to Bait and Tackle. Today we are going to do some skin pouring, although we're going to skip the skin pouring part because we've done it so many times. I already have a bunch of molds that already have skin pours already done on the molds. And I've got a bunch of epic bait molds and a bunch of AI molds. Swimbaits, open pour swimbaits. And we're going to try to make some kind of a red craw type pattern. So we're going to be doing some dusting today. And then once we get done dusting, we will do probably at least a 2-color pour, maybe a 3-color pour. I haven't decided quite yet. But we're going to use some kind of an orange and then some kind of a red. Definitely something for a red craw type color for springtime. So stay tuned. Let's do it. Okay guys, we're going to dust this mold here, and I think we're just going to do something simple. We're just going to take this and we're going to do the fin black, then we'll do some stripes, some thin stripes, then we'll paint the head with this red Shiraz color. It's a metallic color, so it'll stand out real nice. Hopefully it'll kind of blend in with the red and the orange that we're going to pour into it. So black in the eye socket, the fins, we'll do the stripes. Keep it simple. And then we'll probably do orange in the belly, and then we'll do red on the top and fill in the tail. We'll probably end up using red rum from Dead On Plastics. So we're going to go ahead and start, do the eye socket. And then we'll move on to the fins here. I think the hardest part is going to be doing the stripes. But we'll just take our time. So that's the eye and the fin. We'll try doing some stripes here, just some thin stripes to see how it comes out. Probably do quite a few, trying to keep some of the dust off of there, some of the black off of there, so it's, you know, real light, thin. So we'll do, there's 3. 4, we'll go a little bit longer on these. Go down the body. I'll do 5, and then I think we'll do probably 2 more, I think. Let's see if this looks good. So let's do 1 more. Okay. Blow off the extra. Put some black on the back anal fin. Fill that in real good. And there you go. So that's all the black. Stripes, the fins, the eye. Now we'll go ahead and do the red on the head. And I got these off of Amazon, and I think like a pack of 25 for pretty cheap. I didn't get the expensive ones. I got the cheapest ones they had. But it was a really good pack. It had a lot of different variety and colors. So let's try this here. Oh yeah, that looks good. It's very metallic. I like it. That's going to stand out really well on the head of this bait. So get some good coverage here. Kind of has a little bit of an orange shimmer to it too. But we'll just come all the way back to the gill plate. Come right up top. And we'll go right around the eye socket too. We'll get as close as we can. So the entire head will be this color. There we go. A little bit of touch up there in the front corner. And I think that's it. So there's the head. Get the camera adjusted here. There we go. So red Shiraz and everything else black. Simple, 2 colors. We'll fill the belly in with orange, fill the top in with the tail in red. So let's go ahead and do the rest of these. I got a ton more molds to do, and then we'll come back and do the pouring. Alright, well, we got a bunch of the 4 inches, the 4-inch baits done, AI molds and Epic bait molds. These are like more of a 3.5 to 4. So we're going to go ahead and put all these together to get them ready. And then I will start working on some colors to pour. And I think this is just going to end up being a 2-color bait. I'm going to do, again, like I told you, I think at the beginning of the video, we're going to do like a red craw type pattern with, I think we're going to do some orange in the belly. And then I'd like to do some red on the top. So let's get all these put together. I'm going to get everything on the griddle. And then we'll start pouring this red craw pattern. I want to see how well it comes out. So again, I did a little bit of each. I did some Epic bait molds, some puds, and I did some AI Swimbaits 4-inch. Let's put these together. It's been a while since I've made some baits. I actually had to take a break when I was filming the beginning of this video. I had a lot of stuff going on for work. So we will get these all put together, get them all on the hot plate, and then we'll be back. Okay guys, so hopefully you can hear me okay. I've got the vent fan on, and I'm gonna try to arrange this so that it's not too loud on the audio and kind of doesn't get in the way. But what I did was I got some orange already pre-made, and if you look, I don't know if you can see that close enough, but what it is just an orange, and I've got like a highlight powder in it, so you see a little bit right there. So this should be a pretty nice color. It's got some very fine orange flake in it, so we're going to use that for the bottom. The top, I'm going to go ahead and use actually, I think the top we're going to remake. We're going to make some new for the top. So for the meantime right now, I'm going to go ahead and heat up this orange, keep this going, then that way we can start pouring the first layer. And what I'm doing here is I'm just, since we're using remelted plastic here, I'm just taking the puck, and I'm just cutting it into small pieces so that it heats up a lot better, more properly. We don't get any burns. We don't want to waste a bunch of plastic. So I'm just cutting it up real good. Probably add a little bit of heat stabilizer to it just so that we don't get it don't get it burned. And that's all I'm doing. I wanted to share that with you guys. I have tried before in the past heating up the pucks as they are, and I'm not a big fan of how they turn out. And not 9 times, but half the time I've done it, I've always ended up burning some of the plastic, especially in the middle, because the middle will cook first, and then it ends up burning in the middle, and then the outside edge isn't done yet, and it's just a pain in the butt to deal with. So rather than burn more plastic, I like to just go ahead and cut the puck up into pieces, add a little heat stabilizer, and then throw it in the microwave and heat it up. Okay, so the orange is almost ready. I wanted to show you guys what we're going to use for colorant. We're going to use Dead On Plastics Red Rum for the color. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of red highlight powder, okay, from Barlow's. So that'll go in the mix. And we're also going to add, if I can find it, I don't know that I bought, yes I did. I'm going to go ahead and use some black whisker glitter in the red. That's also from Barlow's Tackle. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Okay, so we're going to use that with the highlight powder and the red together. And I'm also going to add some bigger black flake. Probably like some, let's see what we got here. Yeah, some 0.035. We're going to go ahead and use that as well. I'm going to put that in the orange. So we're going to go ahead with the orange, which should be almost done here. Yep, almost done. I'm going to go ahead and get it to temperature. We're about 320 right now, 330. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this back in for another minute or so, or a little less. Usually 30 seconds at a time does well. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to add the black flake to that, the little bit bigger black flake. And then we're going to go ahead and get it in the vacuum chamber to get the air bubbles out of it, just to make sure that it's good to go. And then we'll go ahead and pour the orange. And while we're pouring the orange, let me get this heated up real quick. I'm just going to set it to warm to get things heated up, maybe 200, and let the plate cook up a little bit. Okay, so I think we're good with this. I'm just going to go ahead and check the temperature. About 340, 350 right now. I'm going to go ahead and vacuum chamber it. Just to get some of the air bubbles off the top. Make sure it's nice and clean plastic. We'll come back, add the black flake, and we'll pour the first layer. Okay guys, so we have the orange ready. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to back you out here a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and take my black glitter that I'm going to add. I'm going to get try to get a little scooper here that's clean, a pinch. I'm going to get a pinch. I'm going to go ahead and put one pinch. I'm going to stir that up, see how that goes. That's pretty good. I don't want to put too much in the bottom because I want the bottom to be, just a little bit flaky, but I don't want it to be overpowered. So that's good right there. The next one will have the whisker glitter in it. The whisker glitter gives it a pretty good amount. So we're ready right now. I'm actually just going to hit this real quick with a butane torch just to knock the air bubbles off the top. And we're going to go ahead and pour the first layer. So let me zoom back in here. With these AI ones, really small cavity on this 4-inch. We're going to go ahead and just fill up the bottom. I like to fill it up right to the top of the hook slot. That's typically what I do, especially with a 2-layer bait like this. So let's go ahead and get this filled in. Drip marks there, and I don't like to leave those on because those tend to kind of screw up when you're pouring. Let's go ahead and do the next couple. Now these AI ones are they're very hard to pour because they're so close together. The gap is, the opening to pour is very tough. So we're going to go ahead and do this last one here. Again, I like to do with a 2-color bait, I like to go right up to the hook slot, the top of the hook slot. So that's good there. Now these ones are a little bit easier to see, but I'm going to try to do the same thing where I'm going to go to the top of the hook slot. Probably a little bit under the top of the hook slot on these ones. These ones have a bigger belly on them. Enough to fill around that hook slot good. And just take your time. Patience is key. And I've got the plastic in the microwave heating up for the red right now. I think it just stopped. It's probably a little bit more than I would like to have done. That's okay. Go ahead. This one up. And that's it. So we let that set up. I did have a drip in one of these, I thought. Maybe not. Okay. I think we're good. But I had a drip in there that I had to take care of on one of them, but I think we're okay. So we'll let those heat up a little bit. We're not quite there to temperature yet, so I'm going to go ahead and work on the red, and then we'll be back when I mix the red colors. Okay, so we got the plastic heated up, get it up to about probably like 370. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we're going to do 20 drops of red rum. See how that goes. We're going to do, let's see what that does, color. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, and I kind of want it a little bit translucent too. So we're going to go ahead, take 1 pinch, a little over a pinch of whisker glitter. And then we're going to go ahead and take and do 1 pinch, actually, yeah, half a pinch of the red highlight powder. So let's see what that gets us. May not be enough whisker glitter. Probably gonna have to put in more because I kind of want a more saturated with the whisker glitter than anything. So let's go ahead and put in another scoop, another pinch. And this whisker glitter, it's not, there's not as much when you do a scoop of it, so it's not too bad to overload it. But let's go ahead and get that in there. Much better. I like that. Okay, we got it nice and hot. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the vacuum pot. Let me show you guys. I don't know if you can see that very well. Let me zoom in. But nice red. We got the sheen of the red highlight powder, and we've got the whisker glitter in there. What a beautiful color. It's kind of like a deep red, but it's got that it looks like we're almost ready to pour because this is getting warm enough, and I'm going to bring it up to 225. But it's got that red color, has that deep red to it, but it's got the highlight to give it a little bit of a shimmer, and then I've also got that whisker glitter in there. I think that's going to look really cool. So we're going to finish this up. I'm going to let this may take a few minutes. I've got quite a bit of plastic in there. We'll come back and we'll pour the last layer. Okay, I think the plastic is ready to go. Just make sure you're zoomed in good. That came out really, really nice. It's hard to tell on the camera. Well, I'll show you when we get these poured. So I'm going to go ahead and pour these, the last layer of these. Such a skinny tail on these AI swim baits. One thing I will admit, this didn't come out as red as I liked it to. I want more red. I think I may have just ruined that one swim bait. I want it darker. I wanted her actual red. So I'm going to go ahead. That's better. I may have ruined that last one, but this one, these ones will be definitely a lot more red. There we go. That's kind of what I was looking for. Like I said, these AI swim baits, man, they're very difficult. They're so thin, especially the 4-inch. And I'm over pouring that just because the space between the tail skin pores is very small. Just trying to let it get down in there real well without it getting any air in there. So these might come out not come out that great. But these big ones should come out awesome. So I'm a little bit disappointed. Same thing with the Epic Puds. They've got a real tight tail when you skin pour. We're going to go ahead. This is kind of good though, because I can show you all what happens when you got too tight of a skin pour and you're trying to get in that tail area. And then I can also show you the color that we would have gotten in the beginning as opposed to what we ended up putting more red in there. So I put a lot more red in there. So let's see what happens with these. I want to get this temperature on this hot plate up to at least to where we're getting, where my spit is boiling on the top of it. So again, I'm not worried about over pouring these because I can take some of that off and cut it. I am going to take this just to mesh the top real good. There are some spots in these that I just want to make sure they have a nice sealed bond. Especially to the skin pour that we did earlier. So I just want to make sure that it's nice and bonded. And it keeps burning because of the highlight powder, which is okay. But I want to make sure there's a nice tight bond to that skin pour on the top. And if there were any air bubbles. I think the epics are going to come out really good. So just ignore the flames. I'm just trying to keep everything unified. Just trying to keep everything unified. And the good thing about doing this is that it's bringing the air bubbles to the top. I can see the air bubbles coming to the top. We're just going to go ahead, get this one done. Again, it's the only way to get the skin pour plastic and the actual plastic I'm pouring in there to mesh real well. I'm just, getting the tops heated up real good so then that way they blend together. Now again, all this excess you can just trim off on the top of the mold before you take them apart. But I'm going to go ahead and... I don't think we're hot enough yet. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this as is. Let it heat up real good. Probably get it up to where it's sizzling, and then bring it right back down and let it cool down. And I'm just going to turn the heat off on the hot plate, let it come down naturally. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back and demold these. I'll trim the tops and we'll demold these, and I'll show you what we get. Hopefully this color turns out really nice. I think I'm going to really like this. This one, obviously, we had a little bit too much. It was just pink. It wasn't enough red in there. So we're going to go ahead and probably, I'll keep it for myself, but I'll set that off to the side and we'll see what it looks like. I think I'm going to drop you guys down a little bit so you can see this a little bit easier. I try to get a little bit more of a top side view when I'm doing the pouring, just so that you guys can kind of see that a little bit better. But let's go ahead and demold these. And these are still a little bit warm. I'm really anxious to see how they came out. Let's go ahead and clean some of this up. At some point, I got to get this red back in here so that I can get some of that pink back in the color too. Like, I gotta get the red mixed up a little bit better. But it should be alright. So, just picking up the outside excess stuff. I don't want to keep this on the hot plate for too long. I know when you heat it up next time, it'll start to stink pretty good. Just doing some cleanup. Okay? Alright, so what I was saying was, with these, all you gotta do is just push your hands, your fingers down around the outside of the mold. And it will peel. It's almost like a little knife, you know? It's so sharp on the, especially these epic bait molds, but it's just like a little knife. You just push down on that top thing and it'll cut it off perfectly for you. So you don't have to worry about there being too much plastic there or any of that. If I can get this off of here. A bit extra, more than I wanted, but see, get that off, go right back in the plastic, and we're ready to go. So like I said, these are still pretty hot. We're going to go ahead and take those off. That came out pretty decent. Probably better than I thought it was going to. You can still see the pink a little bit in the tail where it's thinner, which actually is kind of cool. I like that. But it's bright red in that tail, bright red in the upper body. Got the orange through there with a nice center line, and you can see the whisker glitter pretty well. That is pretty cool. I am actually very excited about that. Let me get this in the center of the frame here. How's that, guys? You can see the orange line right in the middle, the red on the top, the red tails. The heads are red with that shimmer to it, and it's kind of a different colored red. The orange comes right up to the tip of the chin. That came out a lot better than I thought it was. Now these lines, some of them kind of desaturated a little bit at the bottoms, but it's kind of cool because it makes it a little bit more natural. So that came out pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and demold the rest of these, and then I'll come back and show you what all of them look like. And I want to show you that pink one that on the end here that didn't come out too very good. I didn't think it came out very good. I wanted to real quick just show you guys. I know I demolded one of the, or all the epic bait ones, but I wanted to show you that one. How cool is that? Those came out awesome too. So definitely be doing more of these in the future. So cool. Okay, so I picked out some 6mm eyeballs to go on these, and these are called Inferno, so they got a little bit of a red tint to them. And I get all my eyes from a place called Lady Fly Tire. She does a pretty good job. She's got a pretty good selection, and not super expensive, so you won't break the bank. But I'm just gonna put a set of eyeballs on each one of these types of baits, and then I'll put the rest on off camera. Just trying not to use too much glue, which I think I just did. I don't want to mess it up too bad. And then we'll try one of these. Smidge of glue there. eyeball in there, and it fits perfect. The 6 mil seems to be the perfect size for the 4-inch the 4-inch AI mold, and the 3.5. All I can say is be careful with the glue, guys. Too much is going to make your bait look like poop, and not enough is going to make your eyeballs come off. But those are the two styles that we got. I'm going to zoom in here. How's that, guys? Came out pretty good for Fire Craw. I like it. I like that's kind of my own little unique pattern there. So, came out pretty decent. I'm going to go ahead and shoot the rest off camera, or put the rest of the eyeballs on off camera. And oh, and here's that like light pink one after we modified the color a little bit. It was just too see-through for me, not enough red. It needed to be red. I mean, still doesn't look terrible, so I'm sure I'm going to use it. But let me get these done. We'll show you what we got when we're done, and then we'll wrap up the video. Okay, I think that's going to wrap it up. I think this is going to be the thumbnail right here. Let me widen that out a little bit so you guys can see. But I made some 3.5-inch epic puds in Fire Craw pattern. Let me zoom into that real good here for you. Pretty awesome. And then we made some 4-inch AI swim baits, Fire Craw pattern. Pretty amazing color. And that's going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. We used, some orange with some black flake in it. I put some bigger black flake in it. It's got a little bit of a shimmer to it with some highlight powder. This is the Dead on Plastics red rum with some red highlight powder and some black whisker glitter, and that worked out really well. But pretty epic day. These are pretty awesome swim baits. I really do enjoy making that Fire Craw. It's a little bit frustrating sometimes doing all these, and you got to make all these lines. I mean, they don't have to be perfect, but some kind of a pattern going. So they came out really well, better than I thought. So that's going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed that. Making some Fire Craw swim baits. That came out great. I like the colors. It's a pretty good color combo. Dusting is always a lot of fun. It takes a lot of time. Like I said, it's very time consuming, but it is a lot of fun. Thank you guys for watching so much. If you would, please like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to comment about anything else you think I should make, or give me some ideas on what else I should make next, please let me know. And remember, keep on baiting.